Shanghai is the city with the best economy in China. However, the city's economy is also in decline. One clear sign is that the city's store closings have quietly begun.
现在开店都是在送钱。
Opening a store now means losing money. This is number 1 Huahai Road in the center of Shanghai. Come and experience the current business environment. I ran from the first floor to the third floor and found that more than 2 shops on each floor had closed down. This time last year, this place was still full of shops. Now, in less than a year, it has become like this.
1年时间啊，你看怎么样？
倒闭了啊。
All the shops in this row are closed. Initially, the location was not good, and I can't say they went out of business. Maybe they stopped renting because they thought it was pointless. This is a store that sells floor tiles, as well as a store that sells pipes and sockets. They are all closed. An entire row collapsed.
里面转一转。
In Guangdong province in southern China, as a major export and foreign trade province, the wave of store closures came earlier. As of today, this trend doesn't show any signs of improving. Look, this is Shenzhen. Many stores are closed and advertisements for rent are all over the streets. Look at this, there was only one security guard in the mall. The once prosperous commercial city is now very deserted.
我现在走在广东省
I am now walking on Chaoguang Avenue, Chaotou Town, Dongguang City, Guangdong Province. This is the main road in the commercial street of Chaotou Town. It is now around 12 noon, but the street is empty. Many stores are closed. Many businesses cannot continue to operate and have closed down. Some are for rent. Even if the doors are open, there are no customers inside, and there are more sales staff than customers. What I am taking pictures of now is all that I have seen with my own eyes. In addition, I can hardly see anyone recruiting on this street. The situation in other provinces in China is certainly not better than in Shanghai and Shenzhen. Recently, a large number of shops along the street in Linyi City, Shandong Province have also been leased and transferred. The economic recession is becoming increasingly obvious. Netizens pointed out that as many as 30 stores are being transferred in some road sections, and the locations are all in prosperous areas.
这一排也关完了。
All doors in this row are closed. In this row, only the 2 at the intersection are still open for business. Everything here is empty. This row is closed, and the words on the top plaques are gone. There are only 3 or 4 stores open in the entire market. According to rough statistics, about half of the stores in Hedong Hardware Market have been closed.
一半的门市都已经关掉了。
Mr. Li from Shandong told overseas Chinese media that in areas close to the city, the announcement format of shop rental and transfer is printed with the words of the Comprehensive Administrative Law Enforcement Bureau of a certain district, which is printed in a unified format in color. This shows that these rental and transfer announcements must be filed with the local urban management department. It's estimated that you will have to spend money to purchase the approval document and then get a printed notice to post at the store door. At the Taishang Square police station of the Lanshan branch of Linyi Municipal Public Security Bureau, the words Lanshan War Zone are printed on the electronic sign. Xinhuanet, China's state news agency, once issued an article stating that wartime state is a borrowed military expression and can only be used for a particularly serious and urgent situation that requires high-level mobilization and large-scale organization. In terms of epidemic prevention and control, the Wuhan Defense War and the Hebei Defense War can be described as a wartime state. No place can declare a wartime state at will. Strangely, some cities in China have quietly begun to use the special term war zone. Mr. Li said that the density of surveillance in Linyi City is very high. An ordinary telephone pole is equipped with 5 or 6 cameras facing in multiple directions. They are not the kind of cameras that shoot violations. Container-style guard booths have also been added at road intersections. He analyzed that the wartime state may be related to maintaining stability after the economic downturn. Mr. Li also revealed that the government has begun to lay off support staff at a rate of about 3 out of 10 people. Institutions like the courts are also cutting support staff. Support personnel generally refer to third-party outsourced maintenance personnel. Mr. Zhang, a citizen of Shanxi province, said that many shops on both sides of this street in Taiyuan City have been closed. The main reason is the severe economic downturn after the epidemic. He said the noodle shop downstairs in his community also closed recently, and a big lock was hung on the door. This area is the bustling commercial district in the center of Taiyuan. It was lively before the epidemic, and shops were selling clothes everywhere. But now, the safety doors of many shops are closed, and only a few are still open. A friend of mine said that their company is about to close down too. If you can get through it, you can continue, but if you can't, you have to close down. The blogger pointed out that a friend of his received a notice of unemployment from Shenzhen Hongtao. When real estate was booming, Hongtao was known as a successful bidding website, and its reputation was quite good. However, this company issued a notice of unemployment on June 11, 2024. The content was roughly that due to the economic downturn, it was unable to raise the funds required for operations and could not maintain the company's operations. In addition, as the economy is not doing well, companies have strengthened internal management, driving employees to frequently contact customers and dig into the residual value of existing customers. Companies place more emphasis on results and no longer consider the difficulties in the process, which makes employees very embarrassed. Mr. Wang from Shandong is engaged in the wholesale industry. He pointed out that the large wholesale markets are in a slump, whether for snacks or household items. Merchants are looking for a way out, strengthening internal management through various methods and using new technologies to increase sales profits. Due to poor business performance, businesses are struggling and helpless to survive. For example, a merchant originally had 1,200 sets of customer information, but in the past 4 or 5 years, more than 900 was deleted due to the customer no longer purchasing goods, store transfer, or bankruptcy. Over the past 3 years, more than a dozen suppliers have closed down. In addition, a serious backlog of goods is also a common problem. However, if customers only want the goods with the latest date, the wholesaler will have a hard time. Yesterday, I went to purchase goods with a friend who is a wholesaler. The boss had more than 200 kilograms of goods, which he had been holding for a while. When negotiating the price, the boss revealed the cost. The cost of 80 kilograms was sold with a profit of 30 yuan, and the shipping was free. So it can be imagined that the profit of wholesale is very low, and wholesale is not easy to do in any industry now. It is also difficult for large supermarkets to operate. It's reported online that a well-known supermarket in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province is about to close for clearance. This supermarket suddenly posted a closing announcement. The announcement shows that the store's product clearance period is July 19th to July 25th and will close operations on July 26th. On Chinese social media, many netizens said that after the epidemic, ordinary people were reluctant to spend money, knowing that making money would not be easy. All walks of life are not doing well, and there are too many entities involved. Rent is expensive, and labor is expensive, especially those working in catering. To the outsider, many people are eating, but in fact, many are just trying to make ends meet, and many are even losing money. In 2024, many domestic restaurant owners have not smiled sincerely since the New Year holiday. Some are calling this the toughest first half of the year for restaurants ever. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics of China, Beijing's catering revenue fell by 2.7% year-on-year from January to May 2024. And Shanghai's retail sales in the accommodation and catering industry fell by 3.1% year-on-year from January to May. It should be noted that the outside world often questions the authenticity of China's official data. According to data from Tianyancha, as of June 30th, 2024, there were 1.346 million newly registered catering-related companies in China, but a staggering 1.056 million companies have been closed and revoked. Recently, Radio Free Asia also reported news on related content. A Qingdao resident told Radio Free Asia that business in the local area, both large and small, is getting worse and worse. People's consumption is weak and they are unwilling to eat out. Many people go to supermarkets to buy food and cook at home. The reason is simple. Income has decreased and even civil servants' benefits have significantly reduced. The report described Miss Yu, a catering industry worker in Wuhan. She said that in the 3 years since the epidemic, many large restaurants have closed down, and the overall service industry and business activities have shown a downward trend. There are obviously fewer diners now. To increase customer flow, restaurants have launched group buying discounts to attract customers. People engaged in selling secondhand catering equipment said that the number of people opening stores this year is still more than the number of people closing stores. But compared with the past, the number of people opening stores has dropped significantly. Compared with the same period of last year, catering revenue has generally declined, ranging from 15 to 30 to 50%. Since the beginning of this year, China's actual economic situation has not been picking up as officially promoted. The new company law of the People's Republic of China that came into effect on July 1st has put forward more and more detailed requirements for the registered capital of enterprises. In addition, the new accounting law has increased penalties for financial fraud and other illegal activities. These new laws, which came into effect during an economic downturn, have given company operators a sense of tightening or harvesting. The changes in China's economic form have attracted increasing attention from foreign media. According to Bloomberg, due to the uncertain economic outlook, Chinese consumers have become more frugal, consumer prices have fallen for 4 consecutive months, and price wars among retailers have intensified, setting off a wave of consumption downgrades in society. Japanese brand Uniqlo is known for its high-cost performance. However, the latest performance report for the first 3 quarters of the fiscal year 2024, that's September 2023 to May 2024, shows that although the company has achieved a significant growth in profits globally, sales profits in the Chinese market have dropped significantly. Pan Ning, CEO of Uniqlo China, mentioned in the briefing that the consumption mentality of Chinese consumers, especially the younger generation, has changed, and there is an obvious trend of downgrading consumption. They no longer pursue brands, but prefer more affordable products. L'Oreal also suffered a decline in sales in the Chinese market, with its stock price plunging more than 7% in a single day in early February. Nike's stock price fell by more than 13% after it issued a weak outlook on the Chinese market in late December last year. The fate of Chinese brands is the same. In 2024, Chinese jewelry king Chow Tai Fook's gross sales profit margin was 20.5%, a year-on-year decrease of nearly 2%. And a decrease of more than 8% compared with 2021. It's the lowest level since 2009. In the past month, Chow Tai Fook's market value has evaporated by approximately HK 20 billion. From January 2023 to now, the company's stock price has plummeted by nearly 50%, and its market value has evaporated by approximately HK 80 billion. The British BBC Chinese website also reported that the weak economic recovery has led to the downgrade of Chinese consumption and the return of the middle class to poverty. Topics such as consumption downgrade, middle class returning to poverty, youth unemployment rate, deflation, 35-year-old crisis, cliff salary cut, and others frequently appear on the hot search list. Xu Jiajian, chief economist of Orientis, said in an interview with BBC Chinese that mainland China had relatively few investment tools in the past, and it was difficult to move in and out of assets freely. Many people choose to save or buy houses, so real estate accounted for a high proportion of total assets. After the debt crisis broke out and large real estate companies such as Evergrande and Country Garden, housing prices generally fell, resulting in a decline in the total asset value of Chinese people, and people naturally reduced consumption. Xu Jiajian believes that the middle class returning to poverty phenomena that is hotly discussed on the internet is a manifestation of the middle class coping with economic pressure by downgrading consumption. Mainland China's economy continues to decline. The unemployment rate among young people is getting higher and higher, and social problems emerge endlessly. Recently, hundreds of vehicles had their windows smashed in multiple communities in Jinan, Shandong. An insider revealed that a gang of young people committed the crime, and the purpose of smashing the car windows was to steal property. On the night of July 15th, more than 100 vehicles in several communities were smashed. The other vehicles parked on the road were smashed. Now it can be seen that the economic situation is tense, and thefts are becoming more and more intense. Everyone must pay attention to safety, and our vehicles must be parked in their own garages, or park in a monitored area. Police said more than 100 vehicles were smashed. Everyone must pay attention. The province's official newspaper reported that at least 3 people about 20 years old participated in smashing the car from the monitoring screen. They smashed the car windows and stole valuables from the vehicle. The owner of the damaged vehicle posted that the thieves stole everything, including cell phone holders and footpads, even stealing a few cents of coins. In addition to Jinan, similar incidents have also occurred in other cities in this province, smashing windows and stealing cars. This made Chinese netizens sigh. Crazy poor, and there are so many people who really can't make money, and all kinds of things will happen.